Are those good? Boy, y'all are sure enjoying that, aren't you? Hi everyone. Let's talk chickens today. So, think for the last year, people have been looking into backyard chickens, etc., etc. Specifically for eggs. Eggs are expensive, they're outrageous. There's been so many issues with the supply of eggs right now, thanks to the bird flu and whatever else has been going on. But there seems to be this misconception that chickens lay all year round. And there are multiple factors into what goes into having a chicken lay. The most important one is the number of daylight hours that a chicken is introduced to, that is influenced by. Hens will not lay eggs if the hours of daylight are below 12 hours a day. Flat out. So you have 2 to 3 months a year where your chicken is going to lay very sporadically, if at all. In addition to that, if your hens are older than a year, in the fall of the year they will go through what's called a molt, which means they shed their old feathers and grow new ones. Hens will also stop laying during that time because they need to put their food and fuel energy into the production of new feathers before the cold weather hits. So with that understanding, chickens don't lay in the winter. In addition to that, you also need to look at their protein. See, if you have free-range chickens, or you supplement them, or whatever you do, even if they're in a pen, if you supplement them with greens and stuff, they still can scrounge and find bugs to eat. They automatically will have a higher protein-rich diet in the summer, in the spring, and the fall, when bugs are much more prominent and much more readily available, especially if they're free range. A lot of the times you will see older farmers, more experienced chicken keepers, they will actually change from a layer feed in the fall of the year to a chick starter or a wild bird game feed that has a 20 to 25% protein ratio in it versus the standard 16% protein ratio in standard layer feed. To help with that lack of insects and bugs and the protein that is no longer readily available. So when you're looking at your hens, there's multiple things you need to take into account. How old are they? Are they molting? What is the number of daylight hours? You can supplement their daylight hours, but understand that if you force your hens to lay throughout the winter, you're going to shorten the number of years that they are going to lay by a year or more. Standard hens lay between, their mass production for laying is 3 to 5 years, with most eggs being laid in year 3 and 4. 5 will start tapering off. Sometimes you'll have hens lay up until they're like 6 or 7 years, but it's going to be very sporadic. Now, if you supplement the light in the winter to force them to continue laying throughout the winter months, then you're going to shorten the amount of years that you have out of that hen. That's why a lot of experienced chicken keepers and farmers and stuff will actually introduce 3 to 5 new hens every couple of years, because they know that their older hens are going to slow down on their production, they're going to stop laying, and then I'm sorry, but they're going to go in the stew pot. And that's just the way it is. Especially if you're looking at self-sustainability, especially if you're looking at being frugal, especially if you're looking at the overall picture. Why do you have the chickens? Chickens can be raised as pets, absolutely 100%. And if that's what you're raising them for, and the eggs are just a side benefit, then that's fine too. But most of us who are raising chickens is because we're raising them for their eggs, whether that is to sell the eggs, whether that's for our own home consumption, whether that's to give away to friends and family. And it could be all of the above. All of the above. I do a little bit of all. I personally, me and my husband, we do not eat that many eggs. I do use them to cook with, but we don't consume eggs on a daily basis. My mom's actually allergic to eggs for the most part. She's okay if they're cooked into things, but having eggs by themselves actually really upsets her digestive system and can make her pretty ill sometimes. So she doesn't consume eggs on a regular basis either. I have a friend that they eat 2 to 3 eggs for breakfast every day. So she gets eggs from me. And right now my eggs are cheaper. I may not have as many available as a grocery store, but my eggs are cheaper, so she's buying them from me. It just really depends. So keep that in mind when you are raising chickens. What are the purpose of the chickens? Are they a pet? Do you just like to see them scratch around in your yard? You like to hear them cluck, and the side benefit is you get to collect eggs from them? Or are you doing this as self-sustainability or as a source of income from your homestead? And then understand that in the fall through till early spring, when the days are getting shorter, your egg production will definitely go down. I've seen a lot of this. Tractor Supply or whoever you get your feed from, that your chickens stop laying because of their feed. That is not the case. That is absolutely not the case. Chickens will stop laying based on the amount of hours that are in the day. So understand, you're not going to get farm fresh eggs for about 3 months out of the year, flat out. That's just the way chickens work. You can increase your chances of having eggs in the throughout the winter by introducing new hens earlier in the spring. Right now, I think Tractor Supply has started their chick days. So if you were to go and get some hens or some chicks today from Tractor Supply and you were to raise them, then their maturity for egg production would fall through the winter months. So you could get sporadically 2 or 3 eggs throughout the winter, a week or a day, if you were introducing new hens into the fall. But understand that is not always the case. Yes, sometimes that works out, but not all the time. Sometimes they won't lay until spring. So just keep that in mind. Molting is a factor, daylight hours is a factor, the availability of a higher protein, green vegetable rich diet is also a huge factor when it comes to your chickens and whether or not they're going to lay throughout the winter. That's just the way it is. Chickens are fun. Chickens are great pets for the most part. They're fun to watch run around and cluck at you, and my chickens love it when I come and feed them and bring them scraps. They just run to the fence like, look, Mom's here. Ooh, she's got treats for us today. So they're great entertainment. They can be a lot of work, but they can also be very enjoyable and rewarding to have chickens. So just understand, going into raising chickens, know that you will not get eggs all year round. Are there things you can do to increase that probability of year-round egg supply? Absolutely. But it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. Most homesteaders will figure out a way to preserve eggs during their peak egg production season by freezing them, by dehydrating them, by freeze drying them, whatever the means is available. You can absolutely do all of that. You can also do water glassing. That is an age-old, tried and true method. There are lots of people out there on YouTube that have done water glassing eggs. And yeah, it does change the taste of the egg just a teeny bit. It does change the texture of the egg just a teeny bit. But if you're using it to make cakes with, or muffins, or a casserole, it is not going to be a noticeable difference. So just remember, just understand, just remind yourself, it's okay, your chickens do not lay eggs throughout the fall and into the winter. But know, come spring, as the days get longer, that you will start seeing eggs. And it is so much fun to be able to go out there and find that first surprise egg after that season of no eggs is over with. It's like having an Easter egg surprise pop up whenever. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. If you have any questions or recommendations, you're welcome to post them down in the comments. And please give my channel a like and subscribe if that is beneficial to me. That means I can bring you more videos and more information. Alright, y'all have a great day and see you later.